Hello and welcome to It's Your Life, Own It magazine and publishing. My name is Marisa and I am the editor-in-chief and your host for this evening's interview. I am looking forward to and so excited to have with me Courtney Clark, which is a life coach and a woman who speaks and advocates for other women. Before I bring her on here and just my conversations with Courtney, as we journeyed through this cover feature for the August issue, it was just laid on my heart to really feature her across the board. So Courtney is not just only our cover girl for the Own It magazine, which is personal, professional, and business development, but Courtney is one of the first time cover features that we have across all of our magazines at one time. She is on the Own It magazine, personal, professional, and business development. She is on our Lifestyles and Leisure Living magazine for August. She's on our Lit because she is a published author, which is our literacy awareness magazine for Own It. And she's also on BTG, Bridging the Gap, Strategizing for Student Success. She believes in the importance of giving back to our youth as a legacy. And so taking center stage without further ado is Courtney Clark. Welcome, Courtney.
Hi.
Taking center stage and
Hey,
owning it
Maria.
with me. So excited to have you with me. And I
I'm
know
excited
that we're
to be here.
all over the world, and we probably have a little bit of a delay. But share with the audience who you are, where you're located, so they'll know. Right now. I'm in Atlanta, visiting with my sister and
Mhm.
enjoying her. But share with our audience who you are and where you're located.
I am Courtney Clark. I am the life coach, the therapist, a woman of women empowerment. I am a mother, my most important role. Um, I am an advocate for all things healing, unapologetic, being authentic. I am the book author. I am the magazine writer. Um, so, yes. And just a girl that loves love, self love, all love.
Yes. Where are you located? What part
I
of the
am
world are you in?
located in Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Huh?
Most people, when I tell them where I'm from, they're like, Ogla who? It's named after James Oglethorpe. But it's a very small country town located an hour below Macon, Georgia. Most people are familiar with Macon, Georgia. So, yes. So we're not one of the big cities on the map, just a very small town. And it's actually four towns that make up our county. It's Macon County, but it's four towns: Marshallville, Ideal, Oglethorpe, and Montezuma. And I grew up in Oglethorpe, born and raised. Lived in
Wow.
Montezuma for a few years, but I tell people tomato is the same thing because they're just how close we are.
Yeah.
The only thing that separates us is a bridge. But yeah, very, very small country town, but it's Oglethorpe. That's Ogletheorpe, Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Oh, wow. All right. So I know this is kind of like a typical question that, interviewees get asked, but what made you choose to go down the road or path of helping others? What made you decide to get into life coaching? What made you decide to go into practicing therapy and advocating for women?
It actually wasn't a decision. I didn't choose it. It actually chose me. It actually chose me. Yeah, that's the best way I can answer that in the truthful truthful way. Yeah, it chose me. The women empowerment, the therapy, um, the life coach. It chose me, and I think for the most part, me having some of the bad experiences that I did kind of led me to it, but more so, it was there all along. God was just waiting for me to get there. He had already put it in me. He had already put it before me. But it took me actually going through some things to actually be able to see what he had in front of me. So I'm here now.
About that. You shared that it kind of called you. You didn't. This is not something that you wanted to do or going past. Past you didn't want to. This wasn't a path that you had chosen to go down, but the path that chose you. Share a little bit of that, so the audience can, if they're not recognizing that, the audience can recognize when you are being pulled in the direction in which your life really, really should be going in. Because sometimes we get so busy and caught up in the day that we don't realize, we don't see the nudges and going in the direction that we were called to, the direction that we're really wired to. Like, so our gifting, our talents, our purpose, and our calling really is aligned with how we were designed. Share with the audience your experience and how you had that aha moment that this wasn't the path I'm going on, but this is the path I have to go on.
Well, I would first of all say, when you are called to do something, no matter how much you try to pull away from it, God steady pulls you back. You know, even after having a traumatic experience. And I think that's what it was for me. Experiencing what some of the things that I experienced and being able to work my way through it is kind of like I had an epiphany. I woke up one day, the aha moment that you talked about. I woke up and I was like, okay, this is it. And it was like so many confirmations on my day to day, the people that I encounter, through my friendships, my relationships. And one thing that I will say with my relationships, I attract a lot of unhealed people. Even in a lot of friendships over the years, I've attracted a lot of unhealed people, which only caused me to be hurt, to get hurt, and to get hurt easily, to be easily offended, and not even realizing during those trials and tribulations, I had no clue of who Courtney was or who Courtney was supposed to be. So many times I didn't learn the lesson, and God allowed the lesson to continue to repeat itself over and over again until I finally caught it. Like, okay, you're gonna pass this you're gonna pass the test this time, and so I think for me, just my experience with mental health, working at a psych hospital 8.5 years, even in my friendships, even in conversations that I've had with complete strangers, even in my relationships, just the things that I've learned more recent, going through a divorce, you know, um, even some of my family dynamics, like all those things led me to the place of where I am now, wanting to break generational curses, wanting to not repeat the same cycles that my parents did and their parents did, and not wanting to pass my trauma down to my son, or he be so traumatized that he passed it down to his kids, and their kids and so on. So I just woke up one day and I decided that it would stop with me. Um, I realized a long time ago that people are my ministry. And there have been times where I felt like it was both a gift and a curse. But it was only a curse because I wasn't learning the lesson. It was only a curse because I didn't recognize who I was, and I didn't know self love, and I wasn't self aware. So
Right.
that's what made it a curse, But it makes it a gift because I touch people's life every day in some way, whether it's my sisters, my brother, um, a complete stranger, Facebook friends, by the things that I post. People come in my inbox, they ask me questions. How you get to be so positive? How you go through what you've been through and still, manage to have the type of attitude that you have? Things could be completely falling apart, but I somehow managed to hold it together. And that's a gift within itself. You
Yes.
know, um, even when I worked at the mental hospital, you know, we had clients that would literally ask to come back there when they end up at the ER. They would ask to come back there because they knew I was there and I made a difference in their lives. They used to call, speak with the nurses there, ask was I still there, you know, and talk about how pleasant I made their stay. You know, and I didn't judge them. I didn't treat them like they had a mental illness. I treated them like they were human because they are human. And I think at some point or another, every race, every human being on this earth has had a mental illness, whether it was depression, whether it was anxiety. You know, I had anxiety and didn't even know I had anxiety. I just knew my body was experiencing these different things, you know. And once I explained that to my doctor, that's when I found out that's what that was. I had anxiety, you know. So we all have experienced some type of mental illness. And a lot of people probably wouldn't allow their ego to admit that, you know. They feel like there's something to be shamed or embarrassed about. But why? For what? We're human. You know, there is no one perfect. Even myself, I don't care how many positive quotes or how much positive content I post on Facebook, all these amazing things that I'm doing. I know that I'm far from perfect. I never be perfect. But I strive daily to love others, treat others right, to love God, to be intentional with my words and my actions, to be self aware. You know, and the negative things about me, those are things that I'm working towards, you know, becoming better. And that's the only thing that I can do is work to become better, you know. And when you're walking in your purpose, that makes it so much easier. You know, you're not focused on the money, you're not focused on other people's thoughts and opinions. You're focused on the calling. You're focused on what it is that God has placed on your life. You're focusing on the gift that He's placed inside of you. And so that's the only thing that keeps me going, my faith, me knowing my purpose, and the thing that God called me to do, which is people.
Yeah, that's wow. That is so good. To recognize the nudging, to see the confirmation through people, giving feedback on their experience with you. I think that sometimes we miss we miss the our calling. We miss when people are sharing with us exactly our gifting, echoing it back to me, to you, to and sometimes we run away from it because we don't want to
Right.
do it, right? We say we don't want this, we don't want this. Talk to us about the work that you do. Do you have any, like, how do people get connected with you through life coaching, events that you may have coming up? Share with our audience how to connect with you, how to find out more about you. Share and
So
what you do.
I have a blog. It's called Simply Court Vibe Higher. That's on Facebook, Simply Court Vibe Higher. And then I have my personal page, which is Courtney Clark. And I have my 1211 Empowerment Life Coaching page, which is my business page for life coaching. So you can follow me there. I also have my 1211 Empowerment Life Coaching on Instagram as well. It's Simply Court Vibe Higher on Instagram. And on TikTok, I kind of combine the two, the 1211 women, not women empowerment, but the 1211 empowerment life coaching with the Simply Court Vibe Higher. So I post all content on there. And most times on my personal page, I kind of count across the two, the
Mm.
blog and the life coaching. I kind of cross it together, you know, as far as my content go. I officially have a website. So I will be sharing that link as well. I posted it last week. I only posted it maybe twice, but I'm trying to get in the groove of things as far as like being consistent, you know, so that I can build my clientele. Right now, I only have 8 clients, but it's working for my good. So I'm just kind of going with the flow of things. I'm not forcing anything. I'm just flowing with it, you know, and I know it's going to come.
Yeah. Well, clients, clients are clients, no matter how many you have, you know,
Right.
Their client. So business is booming, it sounds like, over there.
Yeah.
You talk about a personal growth journey. Share a little bit about that, in regards to the work that you do, how you help others to walk in their authenticity, um, and to get that personal development that they need.
Okay. So for years, I allowed social media, I allowed family, I allowed friends, relationships, with the man. I allowed all those things to validate me. I didn't know myself. I wasn't self aware. I didn't have boundaries. I was gullible. I forced connections and I forced relationships and friendships with people, would make excuses for people being the way that they are. And in doing so, it caused me to stay in a lot of places way longer than I should have been, which is the very reason why I had to continue to repeat the lesson. Um, but my last relationship, that basically, did it for me. It did it for me. And going through that experience, um, it forced me to sit with myself. And I was very uncomfortable. It was hurtful. It was very hard. But like I tell my clients, my friends, and everybody I encountered, like hard things. And that was a very much hard thing to be able to sit with yourself, to be able to isolate yourself and sit in your feelings and sit in your mess. That does not feel good. That's very hurtful. But I'll tell anyone, in order to heal, you have to feel. So you have to feel everything, all the ugly uncomfortableness, of basically the repercussions of your choices and your decisions that was made. You know, you have to sit in that. You have to own it, and in order to do that, um, you have to make up in your mind that you want to heal, and then you have to take the necessary steps to do the healing, to start the healing process. You have to own what it is that you feel. You got to
Right.
own it. Um, and that's whether you see a therapist or counselor, a life coach, whether you vent to a friend, whether you just talk to God, pray, meditate, whatever it is that you do, you have to own it. You have to feel those feelings. You have to own it. You have to process it. Why do I feel this way? What can I do to change? If you choose to do the work, it's only temporary. Like those feelings, they won't last. Trust me, I know I am a witness. And you'll wake up one day and you'll look back like, wow, even just going back, looking in my journal and reading some of the things that I wrote is like, wow, and just to be
Yeah.
able to look back and see my growth. And being authentic comes from being real with yourself. You have to be real with yourself before you can be real with anyone else. Yeah. It starts with you. You have to be real with you. You have to get to a place where you realize you don't need anyone to validate you, not your spouse, not your family, not your friends. You validate you. God validates you. Whatever your higher power is, that's who validate you. You don't need anyone else to do it. And when you start seeing yourself the way that God sees you, man, you become powerful. You know, that's where authenticity comes from. Being able to accept all the things about yourself, the good, the bad, the negative, the toxic, whatever it is, being able to accept those things about yourself and still love yourself. Um, okay, I don't like my arms, but I love my arms. Like they, to me, and and I can say this about myself, like to me they don't go with my body. That's and most people be like, girl, what are you talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with your arms, like my friends and stuff tell me that. But if you don't see yourself that way, it is not going to matter what anyone else think. No way. You know, you got to see yourself that way, because if you don't see yourself that way and you looking for it from someone else, when that someone else tells you the opposite, then there you go. You're gonna be thinking that about yourself. If somebody come up to me and say, Courtney, you know you ugly. You know what I'm saying? If I already think I'm ugly, like that's just gonna be like a slap in the face. Like what? You know what I'm saying? But when you see yourself as being beautiful, I won't care who call you ugly. It's not gonna matter, because you know that's a lie. You know that's a lie. You know. And so when you get to that place, so just being authentic, just being real, raw and rare. You know, I was telling someone the other day, because I had posted a video and I was contemplating, because I was playing Glorilla. You know, and I was like, everybody look at me and not even everybody, because you know you got some naysayers or whoever, you know, that's neither here nor there. However, most people look at me in a positive light. So I wanted to play Glorilla, you know, because a lot of things that she raps about, like I can relate to it, and I love her and Lotto. And so I wanted to play it, and I was contemplating about it. And then I thought about it, I said, girl, you preach about being authentic mostly every day. You know what I'm saying? So what does it matter about if someone has something to say? You know, because the thing about it, me being authentic, if I want to post Sarah Jakes today and I want to post Megan Thee Stallion tomorrow, that's my business. I can do that, you know, like, because who are you to judge me? Who are
And
you to
but
judge me?
remember, we even had so when you really, and I had this conversation, we were doing the power of prayer the other day, and I was having this conversation with one of the co-hosts, and we have a tendency to forget that God was first of all going to kill everybody after they were coming out of Exodus. He said, I'm destroying them all because they complaining too much, right? Then Christ cursed the fig tree because it wasn't bearing any fruit and said, you'll never bear fruit again. That's it for you. And also, Christ hung out with the heathens. Paul hung out with the heathens. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have a tendency, society, just like you said, has a tendency to put this clank, clank, clank on us, where we are told that we have to live so perfectly, which is what really jams us up from being authentic, trying to keep the letter of the law or walking in grace and mercy. And so, yeah, I'm with you on that in regards to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell myself, if you're teaching other people to be authentic, if you're teaching other people these things, then you have to be free from them yourself. You have to be unapologetic, like you said earlier. You have to be unleashed and fully liberated, right? From all.
Yes, yes. You gotta live in your truth. Like, I love me some Sarah Jakes, baby. I love her, and I'm gonna meet her one day. I know I already manifested that, and I prayed about it, and I'm gonna meet her. She's like my twin flame or something. Like, I just connect with her on a level she don't even know I connect with her. She have absolutely no idea, but I know. You
Yeah.
know, I love Megan Thee Stallion. I love Lotto. You know, um, yes, I love all of them. You know, and I love them for specific reasons. And like, even with them, I feel like that's how they're able to make it big, because they're being their most authentic self. They're not caring about the negative things that society, you know, fans or whomever have to say. They don't care about that. They still going, they doing what it is that they love, you know, and they're good at it. And so
Yeah.
that's pretty much, you know, how I look at things. Like, long as I'm not out here hurting anyone or just intentionally mistreating someone, you know, that's what God look at. Because even people that go to church every Sunday but raising hell all during the week, and got hell in their heart all during the week, and got hell in their heart when they leave church on Sunday, you know. So
Hmm. Yes.
who are you to judge me? The same finger you're using to judge me, you use the other three more to point back at you. Look at yourself in the mirror. Because guess what? When I look at myself at night in the mirror before I go to bed, I'm very happy with me. I'm very pleased with me. And I know God is too. Even in
Hmm.
my mess, even as a work in progress, you
Yes.
know.
Amen. Amen. So
Mm-hmm.
you publish books. You share with us your websites and where you are on social media. Share with the audience and your closing thoughts, because believe it or not, we are already up at the half hour. In your closing remarks, share with them how to get in touch with you, how to purchase your books, the things that you've written, and also how to connect with you as a client, as a prospective client.
Okay. So my Soulful Healing Journal can be found on Amazon.com and also on Lulu.com. Or you can pre-order by reaching out to me through my Facebook, Courtney Clark, or the Simply Court Vibe Higher. It doesn't matter which one. And you can reach me on my website to schedule a consultation, which is free, by the way. And that would be 1211 empowermentcoaching.com. That's how you can reach me on my website. And I will get back to you within the next 24 to 48 hours after doing so.
Mm. Awesome, awesome. Well, it has been a delight. I'm looking forward to even
It
more
has.
interviews with you, and spending time with you as a contributing writer in the Own It magazine. I'm excited about that. And so, audience, you can follow her in the Own It magazine as well. If you don't receive an email subscription, just email your email address to the Own It magazine at gmail.com. And we will add you to our subscribers list so that you can receive a copy of the complimentary copy of the magazine on a monthly basis. And like we said, Courtney is on all of our covers this month. She's on Own It magazine, which is personal, professional, and business development. She's on the Own It Lit magazine, which is our literacy awareness. She's on our Own It Lifestyles and Leisure Living magazine, as well as BTG, Bridging the Gap, Strategizing for Student Success. This has been truly a pleasure and a treat. I love your spirit. Love your holistic approach to helping those heal. And you have a heartbeat after my own. Is like, in order for you to heal, you have to feel, right? You have to feel. And you have to allow the process of healing to take place. So this has been Own It Magazine. We love you so very much. You take care. Be blessed. We hope our words inspire you. Yes, right. That's how we do it, Courtney. We are out. People, take care. Be blessed.
Bye.